Hey everybody, what is a robot supposed to do when you wake up for an unscheduled month-long siesta and find out that the place that you work it isn't working? There's nobody there. Well, first we need to set the stage. This book is called Automatic Noodles. It is going to come out August 5th, so that's about a week or so away. Don't make me do math. I am tired. And yeah, we are in California, not the state of California. We are in the country of California, which has seceded from the United States of America and set the robots free. So, yes, if you are a human equivalent intelligent robot, you actually have some rights. Not all the rights, but you do have some rights in this new country. Couple of downsides, though. You don't have the ability to own property. You don't have the ability to open a bank account. And what really affects some of these robots is some of them are still on contract. So these are basically indentured servants. There's four of them in this thing. The first one that wakes up the others, tries to find out what the heck's going on. And yeah, some of them still owe money, and they could get repossessed and sent to work somewhere else, which they don't want to do. And this is an eclectic group. We've got Stay Behind, which is an ex-military robot. He's been the manager so far, kind of in control of security, things like that. Not that you need a lot of security. This is a restaurant they work at. You've got Hands, who's called Hands because he's got hands. No legs, mind you. He gets around by a conveyor belt on the ceiling, but he does all the cooking. We've got Cayenne, who's an Octobot. And that is pretty much what you're thinking. And she also has the ability to sense tastes. You know, she's got sensors that do salt, sour, all that stuff. Of course, you know, she just knows that these are tastes. She doesn't actually have the ability to taste human food, nor does she need human food. And then there's the last one, who for some reason I have blanked on the name. I think her name is Smiles. And she is the one that's the front. You know, she handles the counter, the cash register. She's the one with a little bit of a sense of how to treat human beings in such a way that they actually appreciate it. So what's the downside? Why are they waking up from this nap? Well, the company that ran this really, really crappy restaurant has done what they apparently tend to do, and that's, you know, start up a thing, get a lot of loans and money, and then just disappear and hope that the government doesn't catch them. So, you know, these guys, they've got money to pay back. They've got contracts that they owe a percentage to the companies that they work for. And they really, again, they can't own anything. So what are they going to do? Well, this is where Cayenne comes in. Cayenne likes to play the Bitcoin market and does a lot of stuff, you know, on the deep web. So she manages to get a hold of a service contract, which also is its own entity and, you know, kind of a sentient, I don't want to say AI. She's a program. The service contracts are programs, and that's just how things are. It is a weird world, but that's not a bad thing. And she kind of convinces them that they're taking over the loan. So that it's still, or no, they're taking over the promissory note. So technically, they don't own anything because the company still belongs to the company that I think it was called Fritz and Company, and you know they still own it. We're just paying the promissory note so that way they can keep it open. And yeah, kind of takes over the finances. Hands absolutely loves cooking. None of these bots are doing what they were actually designed for, but it's working out. But Hands is like, no, we're not going back to the old crap. We're not going back to giving the cheapest, barely considered food out there. He wants to do, I think it was called Bang Bang Noodles, but he wants to do this specific hand-tossed noodle that he's always been interested in. Finds a little place in San Francisco, I believe it was, to go down and check it out and see what they're doing. Sorry, I read the book a couple of weeks ago. I'm behind on the review, so I apologize for that. But yeah, he's got that. And of course, the biggest thing for him is, yeah, he can see what's being done and he can try to replicate it. But, you know, they're not robots. They don't have mouths. They doesn't know if well, I guess they do have mouths, but they don't have taste buds. They don't know if the texture's right. But yeah, they get it together. They do a grand reopening. They manage to get a guy that used to work for there because, again, not everybody's on tune with the robots. That's why they've only got half rights. And so they kind of get him to be kind of the face. They see this. People come in, they see there's a human working there. They get everything going. They go on thing. Huge reviews, 5 stars. Everybody loves this place. And then somebody, who shall remain nameless, finds out about it, knows that there's robots running this place, and of course they start a huge smear campaign. They get all the anti-robot protesters to just, pile on, and pretty soon they're going from the 5 stars down to below 3. And in this world, once you get that below 3 stars, the main place, I don't know what you would want to call it. Is it a combination kind of like Yelp and maybe DoorDash? I don't know. People order through this app. Once you go below 3, people can still find you and order the item, but you're no longer suggested. Nobody new is going to see that unless they're specifically looking for this place. So these are where the robots gotta get it together. We got a little sleuthing going on, figure out who's bad mouthing the place. We've got some deals with some very revengeful security cameras, which is its own fun little story in and of itself. You're gonna have to read that, but figure it out. And yeah, they get everything going, and just maybe they have what it takes to survive in this war-torn country that still doesn't quite know what to do with them. Yes, this book is absolutely a story behind a story, and I think you can figure out what's going on with that. But again, less than 200 pages. This is a very, very short story. It is a very, very good story. I absolutely loved it. I gave it 5 stars. And you will be able to check that out. It's coming out August 5th. If you see this beforehand and you want to know just a little bit more about it, I did have an interview with the author, Annalee Newitz. That is actually dropping August 4th at 7 p.m. Central. So you can see what the author had to say about the book as well. Appreciate you guys. Hope you enjoyed this book as much as I did, and I will catch you later.